Michael and Destiny.
It's so good to be here on a Friday night. Odd. Friday night. But that's okay.
Technical difficulties, calls for measures sometimes.
From Monday's show.
Yes.
Yeah. So we decided to do a redo tonight. We've been busy today. Yesterday was like a Twilight Zone day.
Yeah, it was.
I barely remember yesterday. It was just a fog.
It was like a Twilight Zone day.
Hey, Charles. I'm glad you're here. We've got a good show lined up tonight, and I am so excited about our two guests. It is Stan Fikes and Michael Culp, and they have started a new podcast right here on the W.E.B.B Radio Network called Smoke. And the topics that these guys are going to cover are amazing. So we're going to bring them on right now. I almost said give them a big hand. Give them a big hand as they come on.
Yes. Yay! There they are. Here's Mike and...
Good to see y'all tonight.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I have a broke tooth and I got a piece of it stuck in my...
That stuff hurts.
If you see me making funny moves with my mouth, that's what it is. That little piece of broke tooth.
I want to shoot in a little thing real quick. Our show's called The Darker Side of the Moon, and tonight we're having a event up in the sky with the moon, and two planets are going to be in line, and we're going to see a smiley face.
We're actually going to witness the darker side of the moon. Well, I'm not
really.
I think he said 5:30 or something. I'm like, well, he said it's a once in a lifetime thing, and I was like, well, I'll just have to miss this. Hello, Jeremy.
What's up, Jeremy?
All right.
Jeremy's a good buddy of mine.
That's good.
It's good to have him on tonight.
From North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina boy.
Yeah, North Carolina boys.
So you guys have got this new show going, but first let's talk about the W.E.B. Paranormal Group. Your team. You're both on the same team, right?
Yep,
that's right. Yeah.
How long has that been going on now? I know since Michael and I met you guys, that's been a long time ago.
W.E.B. Paranormal as a group has probably been together 12 years now, something like that. And Michael's been on the group. How long, Michael? 4 years?
4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, 4 years. And so, yeah, Teresa said since 2015. So, however long that's been.
That's been 11 years ago?
Going on 11.
Yeah, going on 11 years.
Wow.
Long time now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And our team has evolved so much in those 11 years. I think we have, of course, we've had members to come and go. I think now our team now is probably the and I'm not taking anything away from anybody else, but the best that we've had so far. So
yeah, I think so too.
Our guys are great, all of them. Michael's one of our lead investigators. He's kind of takes over some of the jobs that I was trying to do it all, And so Michael, he takes over and helps out with that, and he knows all the equipment, and he knows how to go and set up investigations and things. So Michael's a real asset, and of course our case manager, his sister Laura, she helps us out tremendously. And we have Debbie. Of course, you guys know Debbie from Spooky Things. She's one of our investigators, and then Sarah Stiles, of course. We have Teresa, which is one of the co-founders, Shawana Coleman, which is one of the co-founders.
Shawana,
Shawana Coleman. She is
sweet. I love her.
She's an awesome lady. I'll tell you that
yes,
much.
She is.
I've met her several times. She's
If
awesome.
you can't, if you have had a bad day and you're not smiling, when you meet her or get around her, you will be, because she
Yep.
just absolutely lights up the room. We love
I
her to
tell you
death.
what, Stan, if I
Absolutely.
could, that would be the one I would steal away from you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, she's something. And
Yeah.
of course, we've got new comers to our team, Ben, um, and Melissa Bracken, and then Danny Andrews, which is the Ghostbusters that was at the con.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, they decided to come and join the team, and they're doing really well. And of course, they've got a show here on the network called Pop Culture Chaos. And
Ah,
Michael and I were actually on their show last night.
Last night.
And
Yeah, I saw some of that.
yeah, we watched
Good
some of it.
job.
and yeah, it was kind of crazy, but you know, that's Ben. He is one of those guys. Another one of those that, if you're not laughing or something, he's gonna do his best to make you laugh. Uh, Isn't that
Very
right, Michael?
true. Very true.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Michael, I'm
what do you
gonna
think we're
turn it
going to
over
be?
to you. And
What do you think you guys are going to be really focusing on your new show?
The
Michael, you
dark
want to
side.
answer that?
We're going to try to talk about things a lot of people don't even want to talk about. Um, our next show we're talking about, should I tell them what we're going to be talking about next week?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
We're
getting
going to
ready
be
to
talking.
be advertised.
All right, we're going to be talking about the Manson murders next week. I've been doing a lot of watching videos about it, and I found out a lot of things I didn't even know about, and because that was way before my time.
Yeah.
I say way before, a couple of years, but I think we're going to be talking about the Vatican in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that a lot of people really don't want to talk about because they don't want to go down in that hole with it.
Right, right.
Well, the Manson murders, that'll be an interesting show. In fact, I've followed and read on that for a long time now. I've been, checking in, a lot of the different stories that were published about Charlie and some of the things, he did and how he was able to control people.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Hi, Mercedes.
There's Mercedes.
I didn't know a lot of it had to do just with music and
Yeah.
him being
Yeah.
told no so many times. It just aggravated him so many times. And when his mother, she went to prison, she got rid of him at a young age, stuff like that. Everybody was just telling him no of everything, and it just ate him up. And
Right. I didn't realize the music aspect of it until I saw a documentary maybe about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And it really went in depth on that. I had no clue, none at all, because usually when you think about Charles Manson, you think about the murders itself, the victims, you really don't dig into who he was, and what possibly brought him to that. But we're not going to ruin that show for
No, we're
y'all
going to let
tonight.
you guys bring all that
We
up.
could go on that forever.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a subject, that we're going to enjoy watching when you guys air that.
Yes, we're going to enjoy that.
Well,
fun to
our
talk
guest,
about.
our guest is going to be Blaine Rohan. So Blaine knows a lot about the Manson murders. He actually investigated um, those whenever he was in the Air Force. And he's got some crazy stories to tell about when they actually went up and did some paranormal investigation there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a lot of rabbit holes, as I call them, that we're going to end up going down with this and this entire show. I can't tell you how many people have commented and sent me messages. Hey, you need to do on this, or you need to do on that, and
Right.
it's going to be a lot of murder mystery stuff. Of course, we're going to cover some of the paranormal aspects as well. Bring new light to some things. Some things may maybe a little bit off, I guess you would say. We're not. We're gonna have to put a disclaimer up and let everybody know that there probably
Yeah.
will be some material that's not fit for certain age groups and things
Right.
like that. It's it's something that I've thought about for a long time, and I never really could come up with a name for it. And how I got this name, um,
Smoke.
we were Teresa and I were riding down the dirt road headed over to Slocum, and it was real smoky.
Hmm.
And Teresa, she says, "Where's that smoke coming from?" I said, "I don't know, but it's covering everything." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, there we go. Smoke covers everything." So there's the name. We do smoke because it doesn't matter what topic it falls under smoke. And
That's right.
yeah, so we're gonna go down some dark avenues, and
Hmm.
some people might go, "Oh, this is tough here." So, but I'm really excited about um, the Vatican show. I've wondered about the Vatican before, and I've talked to uh, a bunch of people about it. And one of the shows that's on the network, Explaining the Unexplainable with Mercedes and Brother Bishop Joshua Sparks.
Hmm.
Well, Joshua Sparks, he is going to be our guest whenever we do the Vatican show. And he's going to tell us some deep, dark secrets about the Vatican and things. And he's got a lot to say about that. And of course, Michael and I both have been doing a lot of research on the Vatican. And let me tell you,
A lot of
um,
weird stuff.
yeah, people are not, I mean, if they're not really familiar with that type of thing, they're going to go, "Oh my God, you know, the Catholic Church, the Vatican, and so on and so forth." So it's uh, it's definitely out there, and it's a little bit dark.
Some good
Yeah.
things and
So
some
that'll
bad
be a good show
things.
too. I'm going to enjoy that one too. A lot of people don't know that years ago, in my earlier years in paranormal, when I was living out in the Midwest, I was actually doing some work for the Catholic Church, doing investigations so they could gather evidence for exorcism cases.
Hmm,
That's
And
cool.
nice.
it's interesting because not all, it depends on the order of Catholic. Like I worked for the Benedictine order. They
Mhm.
Right.
were, they were very into the paranormal as far as possessions and stuff like that. And they would call me and say, "Can you go in and get some evidence here and bring it to us so we could submit it and see if what we could do with it?" So I used to go on cases for the Catholic Church all the time years ago.
Well, that is just a dark side of the Catholic Church, anyway.
Yes, it is.
The whole
Mhm.
the whole exorcist side. Of course, um, uh, I'm blessed to know a few exorcists for the Catholic Church, and
Hmm.
and at a later date, we are going to have a show that's dedicated to exorcisms, uh, things of that nature, and that that one will be really dark. I think we may show some footage of some exorcisms going
Hmm.
on and things of that
That'd be
nature.
cool.
Yeah, it's I've actually witnessed 4 or 5 exorcisms. Um, I
Hmm.
was involved with it too, not really on the spiritual side, but I was kind of the strong arm part of the thing,
Hmm.
and me and 4 other guys, and that is some of the heartbreaking stuff that you ever want to mention, and
Mhm.
even the people that go through that, it's just absolute torture, and and these exorcists, you can't leave them out. They're being tortured also. spiritually, physically, and how these men of God just hang with it. And I say men of God because that was the only ones that I had seen do exorcism was men. I do know that there's ladies that does the same thing, but that type of thing is something that I got to get used to again, and because I dealt with demonic stuff whenever I was young, and that's kind of the reason I'm in the paranormal field. And
Yeah, that's me too. But Stan and you and I came from pretty close to the same area, so a lot of the same things that was going on in your area, I was experiencing too. So
yeah, um, a lot of disappearances in North Carolina, and that was due to Satanism and um, other things of that nature,
yeah,
trafficking, and uh, a lot of kids turned up having to be exorcised. Some of their parents were just beside themselves on some of the things that they got into and were exposed to. Um, Back then, North Carolina was probably the leading state in Satanism.
yes,
Um, it's real close to that now still. There's so many sects there that it's it's uh it's sad, really. When you've got that many people out there trying to hurt that a lot of people. You know, it's and and I say that with this Satanism is a religion to some people. Okay,
yes,
there's different types of it, and you know that's their god. That's how they worship and things like that. I can't take that right away from them. Can't knock them in any way. I've been there, seen that, done that type of thing, and of course, I'm a Christian. I gotten completely out of that. And it being in the paranormal field is the reason I got into help people
Mhm.
because I experienced that. And so there's too many people out there that's being affected by that. So we're gonna
right.
go down that avenue and see if we can't help some people, expose some things, put some truths, and put some things out there that maybe people will change their mind a little bit. Like, wait a minute, I didn't know that. So that's the type of thing that we want to do with this show is to reach
Mhm.
out, and if we can touch somebody that way, that'll be a good thing.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And all the ingredients that you mentioned that your podcast is going to focus on, the different topics, it sounds like the ingredients for the perfect podcast.
Mhm.
I
You
think
know,
so.
I
That's
do
what we're
too.
hoping.
I do too.
It's a very broad format that you're you're
Mm-hmm.
you're going for on your program, and I think it's going to be cool. I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna enjoy watching some of these shows that you're going to be putting on. Fact is, because some of your topics that you've mentioned tonight are close to me because these are some topics I've actually studied, and I'm just
Right.
going to be on the edge of my seat waiting, to get some of this information you guys are ready to put out there to us.
Well, I've probably gone for the last 5 or 6 months, gone over topics and done research on a bunch of those things, and I've got those set and waiting for to get the show started. We had a little bit of an issue
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, Stan froze up.
Froze up on it. It wasn't my fault this time.
No, it
No,
wasn't yours,
you're in
bud.
the clear. You're good
There,
today.
there he is.
It
He's
was my
moved.
fault the first time, not this time.
I
That
don't
was
understand
paranormal
what
right there.
yeah.
They don't want
Some
to
Somebody didn't
talking
want me
about
to
topics,
it.
talk.
some topics you just can't talk about without a glitch in a
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
I'm serious. Been there too many times.
yeah. Oh, there he's back.
Certain things you
There he
bring
is.
up or try to talk about, it's like there's some kind of power that says, "Oh, nope, change that subject."
Yeah, we've been down that road with some of our topics, on our shows, where we get started on a particular topic and things start going wrong right and left.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we have fiber internet, and it never ever gives us a problem.
Yeah.
Well, I say never, hardly ever. Unless they have an outage or something in the area. We have a gig download and a gig upload, so we can run multiple devices. So I'm not sure what's happening now. So maybe you're right. It's something like, maybe we're gonna have some issues. Maybe we're touching something that don't want to be touched.
Right.
Exactly.
Another show I'm interested in is the Knights Templar.
Yeah,
That's another
yeah.
one I'm looking forward to.
Knights Templar.
Yep. I've
I'm
always been fascinated with that.
Well. Speaking of the Knights Templar, I'm working on a show that it's gonna it's gonna include an island in Nova Scotia. Y'all guys know what that island is?
Oak Island.
Oak Island.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
friends with several of the people there
Love that show.
on Facebook, and so I've got a show planned for that. I just haven't put it all quite together yet, and I'm really really fascinated with that type of thing. Knights Templar as well. Um, that was a dark time in history, so it
Yeah.
fits
Well.
right in with our show, and of course that's where the Lucky 13 come from. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's some of the things that were going down, and if and I guess you would say the darker the better. Um,
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you got some real interesting stuff planned for your upcoming shows.
yeah.
Like us, we're wanting to broaden our perspective on the paranormal, and we'd like to get into, like skinwalkers, aliens,
Yeah.
go a little further out to the darker side of the paranormal ourselves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's aliens. I like to talk about aliens, and I've seen a lot of strange things. I've never met a Martian or an alien or anything like that, or
Not
at
that
least
I'm
I don't
aware of.
think.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I have this thing with Bigfoot. Um, I've never seen a Bigfoot. Um, not sure if there's a Bigfoot out there, but we're probably going to do something on Bigfoot as well. But let me ask you this: do you think Bigfoot is interdimensional? Do you think it's a disguise that the aliens are wearing, so they wouldn't be noticed so much and stuff like that?
I
Hmm.
don't know. That would definitely get them noticed by
So
some.
that's your topic.
Well, it's really not, but I will chime in on it. I did make the comment one time, and I've heard several other people say something similar. If if we do have visitors from other planets, okay, and they're landing somewhere where there's really no civilization, just a hiker here and there wandering the woods. So if they didn't want their camp or ship or whatever to be noticed, wouldn't you think they would want to have something like guard dogs? Like we put dogs in our
Yep.
fences and in our yards to alert us or scare off intruders. I kind of entertained the idea that maybe they were put out to keep people from finding something.
Right.
I don't know. I believe I may have seen one once, but I'm not 100% sure. I still have no answers for what I saw. But I'm open to the possibilities that something may exist that people have seen, whether it be aliens or Bigfoot or whatever, because I have witnessed some things in my lifetime, not specifically Bigfoot or alien, but things that I never thought I would see or experience. And if I told some people these things, they'd be like, that woman's crazy. Destiny
Yep.
Fox has lost her mind. There's no way she saw that. There's no way she witnessed that. But, some things I won't talk about, because saying those things for someone's ears to hear, they would be like, she's crazy. That woman is crazy. So, I'm open to the possibilities that Bigfoot is real.
Well, I'm not doubting that he's not real.
Hmm.
I just haven't experienced that type of thing. Now, I've been in some of the strangest places on earth. Honestly, one of them's the Green Swamp in North Carolina. Okay, um, that place, of course, it's the only place that the Venus flytrap grows naturally.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and I have seen some, I guess you would call man-eating plants and things, two-headed snakes, stuff like that in there.
I've seen that before.
Freaks of nature, maybe. Um, and been deer hunting in there numerous times. And I've seen some weird tracks and things like that, but I just never could wrap myself around that it was a big hairy creature. Now,
Well,
Hmm.
hello, Richard.
the whole the whole idea of having like Bigfoot guards or I mean I'm assuming that's where you were going with that. Something to scare people away from whatever it is that these ships or whatever it is that's
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Um, that very well could be. I mean, I hadn't really thought about that until you mentioned that. I have entertained, of course, doing podcasts as many years as I have. People talk about interdimensional travel and stuff, and Bigfoot's part of that. Um, and that's kind of a disguise for some of that. Or, you get uh, Bigfoot traveling interdimensionally can travel from this state or this part of the United States or the world or wherever. Um, because, but it's like I talked to the guy on the podcast. I said, there's got to be thousands of these things. If people over here are seeing these creatures, and then you got people in the Rocky Mountains seeing the same type of creatures, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
he's like,
Hmm.
no, there's only probably a small amount of them. A small amount. So how are they, you know, going from this area to this area so quickly and stuff? Oh, the interdimensional travel. Okay, well, maybe, maybe not, but there's got to be enough of these things for people to see a lot of.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
I wouldn't rule out the interdimensional travel. I mean, it's possible, especially within the paranormal spectrum of looking
right,
at it.
well, that's true. You walk in to a doorway and walk out somewhere else.
Yeah.
Um, eh, I do know that that's very possible. I mean, quantum physics says it's very possible. Uh, and, of course, time travel is possible. Um, in fact, time travel is probably highly probable. Um, and there's just too many things. And that's exactly the way I think the extraterrestrials are getting around. And I do
Hmm.
believe in those. Time
Yep.
travel. That's that's kind of an amazing thing to anyway to me, and that is one of the shows we're going to have a time traveler on our show,
Hmm.
uh, well, a suspected time traveler, and we're going to see what he has to say about things, and see how that show goes.
Einstein wrote a thesis on that many, many years ago. And he actually said time travel was possible if you let, mathematically, for somebody to be able to travel from one time zone or one time period to another time period.
Right. Absolutely. Do you guys remember the Philadelphia experiment?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's one of the things that I'm basing one of our shows on. Um, a flip side to time travel and the Philadelphia experiment. Um, if in fact, if it occurred, it created wormholes, uh, possibly created wormholes. That type of thing. Could it have closed those wormholes whenever they stopped the experiment? Maybe, maybe not. So these things could very well be left open. And what happens when you leave doors open?
Yes.
Things
Things come
come
in.
in.
So that's another direction that we're going in as well. Um, so probably stems from most of the books that I've read in my life, and
Yeah.
the experiences that I've had. Uh, Whenever you can change things around um, to suit people. Well, whenever you try to take those things that those people have changed around and put them back in a normal sense or an abnormal sense, should I say, because they were abnormal to start with. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's the type of thing we're going to be reaching into.
Yeah,
Um,
that's going to be an interesting topic.
so, Bermuda Triangle, I've been in
Mm-hmm.
it many, many, many times on
Yes.
ships and boats and things. Um, some of
That's good.
those, yeah, breaking down those cases, those disappearances of those ships and planes and so on like that. That's a fascinating thing to me, and that may be, of course, it's later on in the year, but we're gonna delve into some of that stuff too, and maybe I'm trying to find some guests that were actually associated with some of that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I you know. And one thing that I've been working on, I've been trying my best to get a guest for, um, are the Amityville murders,
Mm.
Mm.
not the haunting, the murders themselves.
Yeah, the murders themselves.
Yeah, and that's kind of fascinated me. Um, of course, that's going to lead into the hauntings and things like that, but that the haunting of that Amityville house and stuff is not what I'm reaching for. And
Right.
so conspiracy theories, um, you know, why Kennedy was shot, um, conspiracies on just pretty much anything that you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
The Abraham Lincoln conspiracies and things. So you're going to hear us talk about a lot of different things, and I think that we're gonna touch some things out there, and that's exactly what I want to do.
A lot of things people want to talk about, but they're afraid to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, well, that's the case in a lot of subjects that we come across. People want to talk about it, but they're afraid to be the one to bring it up.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they're getting ready to have a show that's going to bring it up.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's gonna be an interesting show.
we're gonna
Yeah.
jump in with all four, and
Mm-hmm.
so I told Michael when we were talking about putting this show together, and I asked him, if he would co-host with me and stuff. Um, I said, "Are you ready to get dirty?" And he
Yes.
said, "Yeah, absolutely." So I'm not sure if he really knows, but we're gonna see. And I think he's got a good idea about where I want to go with the show. And of course, we're gonna have all kinds of guests. We'll have you guys on there too, because there's some stuff I want to talk about on the paranormal side.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think there's some things that you guys have done just right down the alley of where I'm digging. So
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when you were talking about, I would have to get some permission, but I have some footage of, well, actually a couple of exorcisms that we have done. Um, I don't know that they'd want them showed on the air, but I could ask, would they mind you watching it for educational purposes to give you some ideas for your podcast? Because you said you've witnessed some, so
I have,
you
yeah,
know, see it from a woman's eyes, what it's like to
that'd be
do
cool.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I've never seen one.
I hope
All
you
right,
never.
Mike.
No, I hope you never
I
do
hope you
either
never.
because
The last one that I did, I ended up with a broken foot.
Oh,
Um, it's not pretty at all.
no.
It's not. It's not. It's something that I have sworn that I would never do again. And then I had somebody tell me not too long ago, once you step in that part of the paranormal, which it is paranormal, um, there's no going back. So
Hmm.
Yeah,
so far I've been able to avoid things like that. But yeah, I'll find out. I'll see if I can get permission for you to see some of that.
that'd be cool.
that'd be
Show.
Absolutely.
nice. Be
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
some of
we've
that.
we've had to encounter some of that stuff. Destiny has to encounter. She studied
Oh,
under.
you were right there with me.
Yeah, I was right there with you. But she had studied demonology under Jeremy Leonard, and she's been working with another well-known demonologist too. And it seemed like once we started that, we started getting these demonic cases started coming like right and left at us.
Right.
It's funny how that catches on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, some of that's just something that you'll never forget.
Hmm.
Going through a full blown exorcism, witnessing it, um, realizing the strength of things and how things come about.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, I was in these things as a strong arm, um, and when you have to hold someone that has that type of thing in them, and I call it a thing, not to give it any credit. Um, you just you're just confounded on how strong it is and the things that it says and does and um, you know. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's difficult, but I would love to see some of that footage.
Right.
Yeah.
If possible.
Comes with a disclaimer. It has been known to shout out secrets that you've kept because it
Yeah,
knows. It knows.
Mm.
And you
yeah,
referred to it, so I will too. It knows. It knows you. The things you've done. So it's something that you really it's something you really have to prepare yourself for ahead of time.
yeah.
You know?
You're absolutely right. And whenever you move into a situation to where people come and hire you to be a strong arm for something, or to go in and help, and they don't give you heads up on what's going on. They just tell you to go wait in this room, and that was my situation. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
said, go wait in this room, and there was four of us. And back then I was fit. uh, I didn't have all the blunder going on in my head, and I thought I owned the world type thing, and
Yeah.
that arrogance, I guess, maybe kind of helped me through it. But the thing spouted out all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So, and but I learned real quick after the first time. Um, that's it. And the guy asked me afterwards. He says, "Well, you want to help on another one?" Well, honestly, I said yes because the money was good. And I kind of set myself aside whenever I went into that situation, um, because I wasn't a part of the whole prime thing. I was just there to physically hold someone down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so then later I got into things, and it just wasn't the same. And so, but now some of that I'm going to have to face. Um, Knowing what I do now about things, and it's going to be difficult. But hey, that's what I signed up to do this for. And
Right.
Yeah.
maybe something that we put out there will help somebody deal with something, or at least reach out and get some help.
Absolutely.
I
But
guess I've
you
been
got to
lucky
think
and haven't
too.
had to deal with that yet.
You got to think too. The person that's actually had been possessed that you have to do the exorcism on. You got to keep in mind it's not their fault. They have no control at that point.
Right.
They have lost total control of everything they're doing and saying. Something else is controlling everything they do and say.
Yeah.
And they're still aware of it. They're in, they're like inside their own body, but they can't do anything about it. They can't control it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's another form of torture that it does. You know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
If it
that's what it wants to do.
yeah, if it
Or
totally blocks that out, where the host, as I call them,
Mm-hmm.
um, if the host doesn't realize what's going on and don't see, doesn't that type of thing, it's you know it doesn't matter. But
right.
if they're able to witness this, going, why am I doing this? Why am I saying that? That is definitely another way of torturing,
Yeah, it
and that's
is.
exactly what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't realize it when they're done, when it's over.
Some of them do. Some of them don't.
It's
Hmm.
like a memory loss
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Like you don't remember. You lose track of time because it's at those points where you don't remember what you did. That's when it takes over.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's nothing I like to experience. Being involved in an exorcism. Uh, that wouldn't be on my top two, experiences I want to continue to experience. But like Stan, where we grew up, I was exposed to the devil worshiping and stuff. Where I lived was in Bladen County, and we had a lot of it there. I don't know if it bled over from Onslow County into Bladen County or from Bladen County into Onslow County, but they loved the swamp area.
Yeah. We love the swamp.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it is it's pretty amazing how much it goes on there, and I'm pretty sure it still does. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
sure too.
gone on for years and years and years. Um, you know, uh, I used to tell Teresa and the kids about some of my experiences in the green swamp, but that wasn't part of those experiences. Most of my fun are funny things that happen. Um, so having a negative side to that area when we actually moved back there,
Mm-hmm.
that was something that I kind of shaded them from a little bit, especially the kids. And
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
you have so many influences there that and I'm not knocking North Carolina. I'm proud to be from North Carolina. I love it. Um, and my family's from there. And but there's a dark side everywhere. Don't get me wrong. But
Yes.
Yes, there.
it's just so many things that happened there back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s that
Yeah, even the '60s.
yeah, exactly. So many missing people, and you know, people joke and say the vampires got them. Kind of like Lost Boys
Yeah.
and that type of thing. Um, it's not so far fetched.
No.
Right. When
But
you talked about,
anyway, that's some of the stuff we're going
yeah,
to
when you spoke about the Vatican, I saw a podcast some bit ago where the Vatican actually has proof that vampires exist.
Hmm. I'd look in on that.
I you know, I read something like that. And, of course, vampires are a lot different. The ones that actually exist are a lot different than Bram Stoker's
Mhm.
Dracula and that type of thing. Um, that's a good show to do, and people might be surprised to find out exactly what a vampire is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that would be a good show to do.
Yeah, well, that would be a good show to do.
Right. So when is your next podcast and what night and times?
It's Wednesdays at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Um, and this coming Wednesday is when we have the Manson show, and Blaine Rohan will be our guest. We're going to start inviting people. If they want to ask a question on air, we're going to bring them in long enough for them to ask a
Mm-hmm.
question or ask whatever, and then we'll get them back out. So we're going to start that with this coming show. So,
Oh,
but
There's
it's
so
going to be
much about it. It might even be a two-part show.
it might be. Um,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know the Vatican will
Yeah.
be multiple shows. We probably won't do them consecutively, but I mean it's all according to our guest at the time, and because we may bring in multiple guests about the Vatican as well. That's a big subject, and it's probably going to tick some people off that listen to it or watch it.
Yep.
Um, and that's okay too. People have
mm-hmm.
their own opinion about things, and what we're doing is expressing our opinion,
Right.
and that's exactly what a podcast is. Have your hosts and guests; they express their opinion on things. So people want to see our opinions and see what we've dug up. Come watch us on Wednesdays,
This could be
7
interesting
Central.
too.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's going to be a good show. You guys got a lot of good shows planned. It sounds like it's going to be, a really good thing.
It does sound exciting. I mean, it's got all the ingredients for the perfect podcast. I
Yes, it
mean,
does.
um, any history, mysteries, conspiracy, just paranormal. It's all going to be good. I'm
Oh yeah,
excited for y'all, both of you. I am so excited for this show. I know you had talked to Michael and I about it on the phone, God, last year, so it's been in the works for a while. I'm glad you
Yep.
finally were able to come on with it and get it going.
yeah. I'm glad to be moving in this direction. Like I said, it's taken a little time to put it all together and get. Well, one thing we had to dig up the time to do it, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
now I think things have moved with my retirement. Have moved in that direction. I think it's May. I'll be fully retired, and I tell Teresa I'll be fully retarded by then, because she just looks at me. Don't say that. No, no. After being a butcher for 30 years, going to work every day and things, it, I'm gonna have to have time to adjust. Uh, I work 3 days a week now, and I already have issues.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I talk about it, and sometimes I make Teresa ill. Can't you talk about anything else but that? That type of thing. So,
Yeah.
Time to slow
but
down.
yeah, well, Teresa keeps me working. Trust me, she has a honeydew list that grows by the day. Um,
You could relate to that.
Yeah, I was thinking I can relate to that.
well, at least we just hired some help to come help us on the farm. Some of my ability to do some of the stuff is run out,
Mhm.
um, and I'm kind of losing some of the use of some of my hands and things like that, and it's just kind of one of those things. So we decided to hire somebody, and they're gonna come. In fact, they start tomorrow,
Good.
and but that gives me a little more time for other things, and this podcast, and of course Web Paranormal and the Deep South Comic Con.
I was just
Oh,
about to
yes.
bring that up. And any of you guys want to meet Michael or Stan? They're going to be at Deep South Fair Comic Con. And what's the dates on that? Because I get it wrong all the time.
It's 8th and 9th, right, Michael? Is it
Ninth,
8th and 9th?
ninth and
9th and
10th, isn't
10th?
it?
See
9th and
there, look
10th.
at my calendar. I have to do this every time.
And
I
the
have
odd,
Quiet.
the odd
I have
thing about that is
that makes me not feel so bad. Yeah, the 8th and 9th. August 8th and 9th.
the odd thing about that is that's the same dates as the Manson murders.
exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't realize that till
Wow.
last night.
You know, I hadn't thought about it, but you're right. It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I found that out last night.
Well,
That was the Tate murder, wasn't it?
yes.
It was the
Yeah.
Tate
Yeah, the Tate
murder,
murder.
and the other murder was the next day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, Michael's he jumped on it when I told him, because I asked him what he wanted to do, um and then he suggested that, and I said, let's do that. So you see, he's into it. So
There you go.
and some of that stuff is really brutal, and
Yeah.
so if things permit, maybe we might show some pictures or something, so it'll have a disclaimer on that one as well. Um, but yeah, Deep South Bear Comic Con is going to be awesome this year.
It is.
Um, you guys are going to be there.
Yes.
Uh,
Mhm.
um, Richard and Colleen Johnson's going to be there.
Good
EVP.
people.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love them to death. Of course, anybody that's listening that wants to be a vendor, we are still looking for vendors. We're definitely outside vendors. We have inside. We have some available, but people might want to jump on it. They want to get a part of that because they are limited on the inside. We changed it to the Enterprise Civic Center, which is a nice place.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of activities on the outside. Uh,
Mhm.
we're going to have a live sword fight with a group of guys that's going to be in armor, and it's kind of like a live D&D battle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's going to be on the outside. And we already have vendors for the outside. Lots of food trucks are signing up and that type of thing, which I'm excited about. You guys know I love to eat too, and
Mhm.
of course,
I love food trucks.
yeah, things. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. And we've signed Robert Mukes as one of the guests. Yeah, he'll be coming this year. Um, he played in the House of a Thousand Corpses, the Rob Zombie movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was the record driver. Um, and I've spoken to him several times. Of course, he's done a bunch of other stuff besides that too. Um, but I've spoken to him several times on the phone. He's really excited. Nicest guy you ever wanted to meet. And so he's coming. Of course, Keith Age, the rock and roll ghost hunter, my buddy, he's coming back. Um,
Yes, we love
Yes.
him.
yeah, I spoke to him. We talked for about an hour on the phone today.
Super
And
nice guy.
yeah, and we've got, of course, Lee Triana, Matt, Gwen's coming back, Blaine's coming back this year. Um,
Be good to see him
James,
again.
yeah, James
Mm-hmm.
Stokes is coming back. Uh, and James was a highlight last year. Of course, we got the redneck Raja is coming back too, Jatin Patel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just crazy as the day is long. He's a good guy,
Yeah.
and he's another one of them ones that if you're not smiling when he comes around, when you leave, you'll either be shaking your head or smiling.
He'll
One
be
or the
laughing.
other. So
There's
uh,
going to be a lot going on.
a lot going on,
Yeah.
and
I think Destiny and Teresa had me booked for two workshops.
that's right. And
Mm-hmm.
we Lee and them's going to be doing some workshops in the very back section of the. You got the vendor floor, and then in the back section, it's going to be dedicated to gaming. There'll be Magic the Gathering, D&D. All those tables will be set up back there for gaming. Um, we're going to have cosplay. Of course, Shawana Coleman is charge of that, and she got a great guest coming. She was talking to another guest today. We were talking to her on the phone, but I think she's going to have a kids part too for the cosplay. But if anybody wants to sign up for the cosplay, um, there will be prizes, and I do think there's going to be cash prizes. Go to deepsouthparacomiccon.com, and they can sign up to be on there. And if anybody wants to volunteer, same website. We definitely need volunteers, and as many as we can. And it's just going to be a great event. And it's a different place. It's kind of like starting off new,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and so we have plenty of parking there. It's just going to be a great time.
And Teresa says we are still looking for sponsors.
Absolutely, we are. Um, yeah, anybody that and Lilia. Remember Lilia that was there last year? She did the performance on stage.
Yep.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah, I do.
Yeah, she's coming back.
Fascinating.
That is that's awesome. Lilia, she's a great young lady, and she's helping people, helping kids and things. Trying to contact that inner demon and lasso it around, and so that's
That
that
has
that's
some deep spiritual meaning to it. I mean, that really
yes,
touched me, her performance.
yes, it does.
I
And
really got it and understood it.
Her and her husband are really nice people.
they are. Absolutely. I got to talk to him uh, back in the green room, if you
Yep.
will, last year, and he's a really really nice guy, and I love the fact he plays drums because that's what I play, and um, so yeah, I mean these same people coming in going to make the con great, and we're just looking forward to it, and the days are counting. And I looked on the website. I try to look on there every day. Of course, excuse me. We're working with our the guy that works with our website, and we keep him so busy. He sometimes he sends this little thing. He throws his hands up. Like what now? So and but when you work on that many websites, that's what you sign up to. That's what you get paid
Yeah.
to do. But so we're good. We've got so many things we're adding. Um, and I spoke to a potential guest yesterday, day before yesterday, and not sure, you know, they're going to be able to come or not. They're checking their calendar. Unfortunately, Ken Gerhard's not going to be able to make it back this year.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah, I talked with him. Those dates he will be in Scotland running a tour, and you know I can't blame him.
Mm.
Deep
that's a
South
good opportunity.
Scotland. I think
Yes.
Yes.
Scotland's going to win.
Yeah.
So um, but yeah, we're making this thing work every day. So thanks to my beautiful wife Teresa, she keeps it all going, and
She is amazing. We love
she is.
Teresa.
Yeah, she is absolutely amazing. I couldn't do any of this stuff without her, and so even this podcast that we're going to be doing, she is a big influencer. Like she threw up one of the things that she and I talk about, and that's Antarctica. Um, so that very well is going to be a part of our show as well, and that's a whole conspiracy framework there.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
so Antarctica is one of those frontiers that people don't know a lot about, and so that'd be another wormhole, Michael.
Another thing about the Paracon, we're not having a horror house this year.
Excuse me. No, no. Unfortunately, we don't have room for that.
Yep.
Um, we were thinking, well, we'll put a truck out there, but that's still not going to work. Um, so we're going to come up with something different, and maybe at another time we'll
Mm-hmm.
have our horror house and stuff as soon as we can figure it out. Um, and we're going to have another event. It's the Medieval Fay Fest, and
Mm-hmm.
that's in November. And we're going to have kind of like a haunted forest type thing there. Um,
Ah,
so
cool.
so that's going to be
That
uh,
sounds good.
It
it's
does.
it's going to be interesting. Last year was great. It just skyrocketed. I mean, we were like, okay, um, let's put this together. And of course, Debbie was a big. She's one of the directors on that one, and her and Teresa got together, and I'm just kind of like the leg man, or they Teresa looks at me, says, I need this graphic yesterday, and that's
Mhm.
usually the way it is. Okay, so I get on the computer and go to creating graphics and stuff, or I got to go talk to this person for them and stuff. So that's kind of like my job, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then putting it all together at the site. That's another one of my jobs. But Teresa and Debbie done a great job helping put all that together, and I think this year's going to be bigger and better. And just like the con, we're bigger and better than last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fun thing, and I'm glad and we're absolutely blessed to be able to put all this together and you know bring people out and let them enjoy themselves, meet new people. Not every day you get to meet people like Robert Muse or
Mm-hmm.
all these other stars, and we're already signing guests for next year, and so it's it's great, and we we just have to come back and check out everything that we've got going, because we change up the website every day or every other day, and we'll be adding people and things like that. So just go to deepsouthparacomicon.com and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be great.
Well, you and Teresa has been able to accomplish one thing that a lot of people across the country wasn't able to accomplish, and that's a repeating parathon every year, paracon every year.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
This is our fifth year. Isn't that right,
yes,
Mike? Fifth year,
Yeah. Yep.
and
We've
Seems
been there
like
here.
yeah,
every year.
we've been
Yeah,
to every one.
You don't even
and
have to ask us if we're ever coming because that's a given. That's our every year thing.
well, this when we were setting this one up, I looked at Teresa and I said, "Hey, you may want to message Destiny and Michael and let them know when the Paracon is."
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep those dates open. Unfortunately, though, with this Paracon, as with the last, our school starts back always the first week in August. But we're gonna have the kids stay out that Thursday and Friday. We're gonna do something with the kids before we come on to the Paracon. They're actually gonna get to attend, so you guys will get to meet my little kiddos.
That's cool.
nice.
Absolutely. Today is one of them's birthday, right?
Yes, Madeline. The
I
kids are
thought
so
so.
popular.
Happy
People
birthday.
inbox me all the time. How are Maddie and Jace? I've never met these people, but that they see the pictures on Facebook and all, and these kids have become like, well, they are my family. They are my family. They're loved. there was somebody asked me today, what's your address? I would like to mail something to Maddie and Jace. And I said, well, okay, I'll get back with you on it because I'm busy right now. And I really was. But, I don't know what address to give them.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary giving and if you're watching,
You can give
forgive
them a
me
PO
for
box.
being just
Well.
a little bit weary of giving out my address. But,
Yeah.
yeah, they've got fans. I could start a Jason Madeline fan page and it would be full. People just love my kids.
Yeah,
But
they're beautiful kids.
They
Beautiful kids.
are.
we've used the Paracon. We renewed our vows at the Paracon.
Yep,
Yes.
I remember that.
2 years
I
ago, I
love
got my
that.
tattooed
2
fox
years
at the
ago.
Paracon.
Our wedding was good.
Yes.
Our only wedding other than the renewal. But I love that. But it was something about that vow renewal that just sparked something inside of me. I don't even think I look at that like our wedding.
Yeah.
That's what I remember the most when I think about Michael and I committing ourselves to each other was the vow renewal. It was the most amazing thing. Forget
Well,
the
I
wedding.
agree.
We had the vow renewal. We should have had that first.
And we went for the Renaissance look.
Yes, and we
Mhm.
love that. We love that.
Yeah.
We may dress up like
Wanna
that.
say hello?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well,
I'll
you
get a
can
new
dress up
dress.
that way. Hey, what's
There's
up?
Laura.
How are you?
She's just getting off of work.
But you dress up like that and come to the Medieval Bay Fest in Marianna, Florida. And
Yeah, we couldn't make it last year, and we wanted to so bad, but it's on the calendar for this year. So hopefully we'll get to make it this year.
bring the kiddos. They can run around and have a blast. Go
Mm-hmm.
see the pirates and
Mhm.
all sorts of things. All the
Yeah.
fairies running around, even the evil ones. Um, you
We
know,
just got to hope for good weather this year.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there was people. Our line was like you couldn't hardly see the end of it, and it was storming like crazy. But they were just standing there, all in their get ups and stuff like that, and holding their stuff and their weapons, and I'm under one of these canopy things, and we're trying to get everybody checked in and trying to send them up to the covered area where the
Mm-hmm.
pirates was, until the rain quit and stuff like that. These people, they were just wandering around through the vendors like nothing was going on, no
Mm-hmm.
rain or nothing. I'm like, wow.
Well, people who attend a festival like that, they do preparation. It takes them time to get ready. Because
Mhm.
a lot of them do the makeup and stuff, and so they were, after they worked all that time to get ready for it, they meant they were going to be there.
Absolutely. And that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It
It is.
absolutely is. But yeah, we can't hardly wait for that. And of course, the con is just going to be, it's always kind of like so tiring to me after
Mm-hmm.
it's all said and done. Teresa and
Yes.
I have to kind of just disappear and sleep for a couple of days. And,
Right.
of course,
Recover.
yeah, exactly. And so we can go on an investigation and have to sleep for a couple of days. So that's maybe that's
Yeah.
a
I've
sign.
been there.
Yeah, that's a sign, I think.
One thing that's on my bucket list is for Stan and I to do the battleship again. And we talked here a few months ago about it. We want to go to the Green Swamp too while we're there.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
because I'm expected to have surgery, we're probably not going to get to do the battleship this year. But
No.
I'm um, I'm talking to Miss Wallace about next year, and we'll have it set up, and we'll be able to go over and get on that boat again.
I
That thing
will
is
make it this
amazing.
time.
Yes,
Yeah.
count us in.
Yeah. Stan and I had
Count us
somebody
in.
running around us there in one section of the ship that
We sure
night.
did. Yeah, we were trying to get cameras set up, and they wasn't working exactly for us, but there was a stairwell, and Michael was like up here, and Michael said, "Did you hear those steps?" And it sounded just like they were walking down that little hall right below us.
Mhm.
And then it's like, that was footsteps again, So I figure it was one of the ship's personnel checking out, see what we were doing.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, they heard a noise. They were checking it out.
Yeah. And then, of course, when we went to the area where the torpedo hit the battleship, over in there, if you've never been on one of those battleships, all those little places in the floor and in the wall are doorways, and they go to every little nook and cranny of this ship. And we was over in that shower area where the torpedo hit, and of course, you had the what was that you were using in there? My
The portal?
mind the portal.
Yeah,
And
sure.
the portal, and we were getting some good information, good hits on that, and I mean that was just an amazing time. And of course, Lee and all of them went on that, and but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this coming time when we go back, um, we're gonna investigate way more of the ship. I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
get the guy to kind of let us go and do a little bit more than we did before. And it's hard to investigate that ship in one night.
Really is.
It is. There's a lot to cover.
Yeah, absolutely. And we found out that it's not so easy to just set up cameras and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to do everything with handhelds and just
Yeah.
go that way, go that route. And but yeah, it's gonna be great. And we've got some plans coming up for that type of stuff next year, and
Yeah.
a couple of locations I bet you guys will be interested in. So we're gonna,
Oh, get my curiosity up.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I got to get the information together on it before I say anything, But
Right.
um, there's a couple of locations that I think you guys will be wanting to go
Mhm.
to.
And we had comments here and there and people saying hello. This conversation has been so good that there just wasn't time to jump on. But I want everybody that watched tonight to know we appreciate you for watching, and we love you guys tremendously. But I will go back and we'll talk. I promise. I promise. But it was so good to have Stan and Michael on the
It
show.
was very
It's
good. Yeah, I
awesome.
enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to you guys' show.
Wednesday nights at
Seven
7
o'clock.
7 Central,
7
eight
Central.
eight Eastern. Yeah. Um, and
Smoke.
yeah, smoke. And thank you guys for having us on. It's always a blast being on with you guys. And you know, this is the first time Michael's been on your show, I think. And
Yeah.
it's
But it won't
always
be the
fun.
last.
Oh
Oh
no.
no, no, no.
We'll have him on again.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
there gonna be people contacting us. Y'all probably gonna go, wait a minute, y'all got to come back on the show because y'all
Yeah.
got to tell us why y'all went in that direction y'all did. So
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's gonna be fun. Well,
All
thank
right.
y'all for having us.
You're welcome.
And can't
And
wait to see y'all in August.
oh, looking
Absolutely.
forward to it. Looking forward
I
to it.
am
It's just
very
like
looking
seeing
forward to it.
family again every
If
time
not
we get
before.
back. Oh, maybe before. Yes, that'd be cool. All right, guys. We love y'all. Thanks for being on the darker side of the moon. Until next time, guys. Peace and love.
Night,
Have a
Good
good
everybody.
night.
evening.